Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome, beloveds, to my podcast on Spotify, The Spiritual Alchemist. In today's episode, we will be exploring the hidden depths and mystery of the powerful dark goddess Medusa and how her story still resonates for women today in the 21st century, who have experienced victimization, jealousy, envy, and having to reclaim their power back and sovereignty through a male-dominated society. Let's first explore Medusa's story so we can better understand the psychology of this beautiful young maiden who later was seen as a fierce monster that people feared and demonized in society. So let's begin her story. Medusa was once a beautiful, alluring, and highly revered in the eyes of the gods. Medusa was actually a priestess to the goddess Athena, who is the virgin goddess of wisdom and battle. There was only one requirement to be a priestess for Athena, and that was that the young woman is a virgin and gives their life to the goddess. Poseidon, the ruler of Neptune and sea god, was enamored by Medusa the moment he laid eyes on her. He was obsessed, and he was a rival to Athena. He was so mesmerized by Medusa's beauty. Medusa, being a loyal priestess, rejected Poseidon, and the story is the sea god Poseidon raped Medusa and decided to humiliate Athena by raping the priestess Medusa on the steps of Athena's temple. Poseidon then vanished in thin air after leaving Medusa weak and vulnerable. Medusa prayed to Athena after this tragic incident for guidance and forgiveness. In those mythological times, the gods claimed their mates as their partner forever, and Medusa would now be considered Poseidon's wife. The beautiful, alluring high priestess was looked down in anger by Athena and cursed Medusa for betraying her. Medusa was sent away to a faraway island and was cursed so that no man would ever want her. Athena gave her cracked skin, snake hair, madness, and stone eyes that would turn away any man that gazed into her eyes, turned them to stone. Athena now created a monster woman. Medusa was banished from her civilization and sent to an island in isolation by herself. She was all alone and only saw men trying to kill her. She looked at them in fear and saw them turn to stone right in front of her eyes. Medusa became scared of her powers and angry at the gods for cursing her. She then took revenge on the men that were sent to kill her. Anybody who dares step into her island would be marked for death and destroyed. So now we will explore the deeper meaning and symbolism behind Medusa. Medusa was objectified by her beauty, which no woman should ever experience. She was victimized and raped by Poseidon and was emasculated as a woman and punished by Athena, who envied her and betrayed her and turned her into a hideous monster. Women today in the 21st century have dealt with these same kinds of issues, being objectified and victimized by men in power who try to ultimately dominate and control them through sex, rape, manipulation, narcissistic abuse, deception, and even mind fuckery to control or brainwash women in any way they can. There are also women like the goddess Athena who are jealous and envious of other women's beauty in society that will compete, seek revenge, or display acts of manipulation or abuse towards other women who are just simply minding their own business. Clearly, Athena should have more sympathy for womanhood and not punish a rape victim. Throughout many myths, Medusa is used as a weapon by other male heroes. The disturbing part of the myth is Medusa is a rape victim with no support system. No wonder she was pissed off in madness, killing men, turning them into stone. She was traumatized and could not trust anyone. Athena could have helped her, yet instead, Medusa was punished. She was turned into a hideous monster, and her identity was stripped away. This is a tragic tale. History remembers Medusa as a scary monster and was not seen as the victim that she was. Maybe this is fitting, though. As we don't listen to victims, many people in society turn them into something or someone they are not. How many times have you heard the news call a victim an instigator? We turn the people who need our help the most into monsters. But in reality, the real monsters are the rapists like Poseidon, abusers like Perseus, and victim blamers like Athena. We all need a voice to be heard. We all have been a victim of some type of abuse in our lives. Women especially need to be heard. The world needs to listen, to hear their stories, hear their pain, their trauma, the feeling of being victimized, and empower other women and individuals to know they are not alone. We all have our own unique story to tell. This one is Medusa's, a beautiful woman taken advantage of and then punished for being raped. The main reason why victims of abuse don't speak up in society is because they are afraid that people will judge them and blame them. This is very disturbing when society tries to blame the victim instead of the perpetrator. Everyone will have their own opinion of Medusa's story, but look at the evidence of what actually happened and how she was turned into a monster after being a victim of rape. How astonishing is this? The last part of this podcast episode, we will be discussing the unraveling of the symbolism and the significance of Medusa. Medusa's story carries powerful symbolism pertaining to guardianship and protection. The emblem of Medusa is often seen as the evil eye to ward off evil, and her petrifying gaze is a reminder of the natural world's potential for destruction. Medusa symbolizes to me the dark goddess energy, a powerful, alluring, transformative energy of empowerment and resilience. She often signifies survival and overcoming assault, making it a profound emblem for those who have experienced such traumas. For some, she is seen as a hero, the victimized feminine embracing her goddess power. Medusa symbolizes female power, freedom, and transformation. She signifies the death rebirth paradigm. Medusa's snake hair symbolizes a woman's untamed power and wrath. Some link her hair, the snakes, to the idea of a woman's sexuality that is considered taboo or dangerous. But most importantly, Medusa's hair of snakes is symbolic for the transformation, the birth, death, rebirth, natural cycle of life. Ultimately, Medusa is a powerful goddess who can relate to other women who have experienced abuse, trauma, or being victimized in any way, but have conquered their trauma through reclaiming their feminine power and have learned to be resilient and share their own voice with others to embrace the powerful goddess they are. Through all the shadows, through all the darkness and fear, we can always look to the dark goddess to see the unveiling of truth. The demonization of Medusa by the world speaks of a more intangible darkness, the fear of female power itself. Embracing the dark goddess and dark feminine energy, Medusa. She is a powerful crone, a force to tell, where she implores those seeking her wisdom to dive deeply into the darkness of their own shadows. She can be a spiritual ally for people with PTSD. She encourages the confrontation of trauma. So dark goddess is work that only should be done after you have made progress in processing what has happened to you. Once you are ready to do the potent shadow work that Medusa encourages, there is so much integration of shadow and sovereignty that can be gained through Medusa's dark goddess energy. Her fearsome appearance is to be seen as a reaction of an increasingly male deity-dominated society reacting to the power of such a strong female snake goddess. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my channel, The Spiritual Alchemist. I appreciate all of you beautiful souls being here and subscribing. And I hope you enjoyed this powerful episode on the dark goddess Medusa. Feel free to subscribe and leave me a comment if it resonates or you feel inspired by this beautiful story. Thank you guys. I will see you in my next podcast episode. Namaste.